Get it towed? Okey dokey.
I had an issue with my car that was fairly new and well within manufacturer's warranty. Called the dealership and explained what was happening, and the service guy was super rude, cut me off and told me to have it towed. Absolutely, I'll do that. So I get roadside assistance to come tow me and send it off to the dealership. Give them 24 hours to call me to let me know what's going on, but they don't, so I take my cell phone up there to find out in person. They tell me they hooked it to a code reader, but no codes. They'll keep looking into it. So I ask for a loaner, but they don't have any available. So I ask for a rental, and they can't do that till they diagnose it. Except they can, cause my extended warranty covers that, so he begrudgingly gets me a rental. 24 more hours go by and they're closing in 15 minutes, so I send an email asking for an update, and giving the additional information that he cut me off from giving in my original phone call. He called an hour later to let me know they were charging my dead battery and I could pick it up tomorrow.
Try taking it to a different dealership if there is one within an hour's drive. You will eventually find one with competent mechanics. I had the same issue as a young woman where the problem was simple, but they couldn't diagnose it because they wouldn't listen to me explaining the issue. My dad told me what was wrong with it in a 5-minute conversation over the phone. I took it elsewhere and never returned to that dealership again.
I think the obvious lie of no codes, looking into it, is the most frustrating part. They want you to believe they didn't notice the dead battery when they hooked it to a code reader. They hadn't touched it yet. Fine, just give me a loaner. Is justice.
Went to a garage because my front bumper was broken. The under bumper had detached on one side, and was acting as a snowplow. It only needed to be forced back in the right groove. But I didn't have the right tool. I explained to the men there what was wrong, and how I thought it should be fixed. They said, "We'll figure it out when we have looked at the car," in a disbelieving, condescending voice. Came back later and they were all surprised that the young blonde girl had been correct.
For what it's worth, charging a battery isn't really a long-term fix. Batteries should last several years without giving you any issues. Be prepared to get stranded again if they aren't taking their time to find the issue.
An honest and skilled mechanic is worth their weight in gold. OMG, I had this when I first moved in with my BF. We had an issue where the engine died when we slammed the trunk shut. Turns out there's a sensor in my truck that cut power to the engine in a car crash. It was a little wonky, so to the cold, and reacted when my BF slammed the trunk shut. But the dude looking at my car told me the issue and then tried to feed me a list of other issues, including all my tire rods and wheel bearings being loose and my engine mount being broken. A load of baloney. But his tune changed when my dad walked in. I now have a better repair guy and I tell everyone I know what they did.
I must have missed the malicious part of this compliance.
Without reading the comments, how TF is that not the first thing they notice? Doesn't the engine have to be running for them to check codes? No codes with a dead battery. Would a thunk it? /sigh.
Get a code reader.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.